Hello everybody, it is I, Earthknite, and welcome to Vintage Story. Now I'm taking just a quick look over a bunch of stuff. As you can see, for those of you that know the game, I've pretty much entered the copper area. For those of you who don't know the game, this will just be a quick look at how different this is. I'm purely making this video for a couple friends of mine who aren't too sure about the game. Or think it's just another Minecraft. While it is voxel based and you build with blocks and you do the crafting and all that, it is very different. I will point out that there will be little hostiles spawning right now. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. A temporal portal? Really? Right out here? It's because I lost that torch, isn't it? Yeah. So that's one thing. But I'll go over that in a second. So crafting is very different. One of the big key things that everybody's super excited for is this napping. So you put a piece of flint down, which is your usual. You can also use regular stones. And then you take a second stone in your hand, and then you just break it down. So this applies to various other types of crafting. For example, this clay pot and the two that are in those pilt kilns right now, I had to actually make with clay. So to do that, you'd shift right click, you'd select the recipe. I don't really have anything that I can think of that I might. Oh, we have monsters begin to appear. Great. So we'll get to see some of those. I have it on not peaceful, but passive right now. So they aren't going to immediately try to kill me. Let's do a prospecting pick, because I don't have that yet. So, as you can see, I have to fill this in with the clay. And actually physically make the clay mold. Which does increase the amount of time this game takes. But it is super satisfying when you do it. I have yet to get super far into it. I've barely made it into the Bronze Age in one of my playthroughs. This is actually on a mod list for Outshadow's server that's coming up, which is why I had to make this video. Well, I'm going to need more grass. So yeah, that's, like I said, I'm making this video. Valhalla said this looks like Minecraft, and I wanted to make sure that there was no misgivings that this is not Minecraft. So as you can see, like at the top, I've got this thing. It says packed dirt. When I look down here, it's just raw prospecting. But if I add, it's now a pit kiln, and it tells you what's in it and all that. Pretty neat. And all of this information, like how to do all this stuff, if you hit H, there's this. I think K also does it. And there's various different ways to play too. Oh, those are still hot. Okay. So like where I'm right now, kind of doing everything. Multiplayer is where this game really shines. Which is why Outshadow's starting a server soon. And so I'll be joining him on that. And we're trying to do some factions, so we have different groups of players that can trade and fight, stuff like that. Oh, my charcoal kiln's still going. But yeah, so like making charcoal. Under here is a 2x2 space that I filled with firewood. Then you start a campfire on top of it, light it, and it turns all that wood into charcoal, which is a more realistic process of how to make charcoal. Pit kilns for two. These are. Oh, I have to have an empty hand for that. Firing the clay to make actual clay things. That's another. It's super in depth, much more than Minecraft ever was. There are a couple things that control. Yeah, control. Why are you not letting me pick you up? Weird. Carry on's not working. so I can't pick it up. That's weird. But yeah, there's some very Minecraft-esque things, and some very not so Minecraft-esque things. I wonder if I could see a drifter spawning around here. Oh, there's more temporal portals. So, like I said, I have a couple mods in here that allow like voice stuff. This little thing up here is also part of the mods. The mini map's actually part of the map altogether. You'll see these marks mark some enemies that spawn because of the mods. One big thing is like, so you'll see at the bottom on my HUD there's this gear. That gear is for temporal stability. So temporal game mechanic. Oop, that's not what I meant. Temporal stability. So the world is in flux. The sign gear is your temporal stability meter. Staying in areas of low stability will drain it, and it goes counterclockwise. Being in high stability, it goes clockwise. Right now, I'm at a mid zone, right? Certain areas deep underground are temporarily unstable. If your stability is dropping when on the surface, then you want to find another place to settle down. Sometimes you'll encounter temporal storms on the surface, which have the same effect. I have not seen a temporal surface. I actually put really big distance in it because I've been trying to learn the game more than just completely die to the game. So I haven't actually seen that part yet. But basically these are rifts, which are transportations to the Rust world. Which the closer I get to it, you can see my gear starting to go counterclockwise. If I get way too close, it just starts freaking out spinning. Once that gear hits 0, I get teleported to the Rust world, which constantly does damage to you. The things called the monsters spawn. The first of which you'll usually see is drifters, which kind of look like stone golems, to be honest. What was that? Oh, hey, I got a fish. I got a fish. That's another mod that I have that got me this fish. But I don't know how I'm supposed to actually... Arctic char. Lizard source protein. Do I just toss it in with a knife? I do just toss it in with a knife. That's really cool. Combat, like I said, I've got a couple mods, so I can't really show it off too much, but I haven't even reached the level of combat in this game yet. Things like perishable foods, they perish for after so many days, but if you look in here, like these all say 2 days. Now if I seal this, make sure the chimney's actually sealed. Yep. Now if I look in it, it's 6 days. So you can make an actual cellar for this kind of stuff. For these baskets, give me all this inventory. To upgrade those, you make a backpack. So like, I'm making hunter's backpacks next, which needs a bunch of cattails and papyrus. That's going to be a bit difficult to find. Oh, or we could just have purely cattails or papyrus. It's interchangeable. 3 small, 1 medium, 1 large type of deal. So I have to run around and go find a bunch of cattails, which are what these baskets are made out of. The reason I made this is because these baskets are insufficient storage. I did not mean to put the firewood in there. Didn't mean to hit that either. Let's come to the point where I need a ton of these to store just the basic stuff. There we go. And I'll use this as my seed basket, because I rarely get seeds. Use this as my miscellaneous. This is where all my ore stuff goes, so any charcoal I put in here, these are the ores I've gotten. The way you mine ores, right, you have to get all the way up to the copper age purely by finding copper. The 2 ways to do that is by panning some different types of sands, So down here, which, oh goodness, this whole area is temporally unstable now. That's never good. So this area is temporally unstable. I think it's because of the mob I killed from one of the mobs. But like, you can pan, and then you'll get rocks and flint and different types of ores. You can also prospect, which was that thing I made at the very beginning, the prospecting pickaxe. You use that to basically find ores by testing the ground. You pick a little bit at the ground and then you test to see what it responds best to. Oh, this is full. 2 days, 2 days. Why are these both 2 days but they're separate? There we go. Put that on top. And then when I'm hungry, I have this right now. Oh dang, I ate the whole thing. So I gotta go back in here, grab this crock that I made of food. There's 35,000 recipes for cooking. There we go. That's the last of it. You smelt into a crucible, which is why I have these tongs on me. So you could pick up the crucible and then dump it into the molds. And then I have to heat this ingot up, which I should actually start doing now because I want... Oop, that's not what I meant to do. I want a knife. I don't want the crucible. I want that. Can't smelt. Requires smelting container, i.e. crucible. Alright, there's some way to heat these up, but I haven't actually gotten to that part yet. Copper ingot. Copper ingot. Smelting, crafting, smelting, and metal molding. This goes over the doing all of that stuff. Got to smell on bloomery and chimney. What's a bloomery? Oh, that's what a bloomery is. That's fire clay bricks, which I have not found yet. That's going to be fun. But I'm trying to figure out, because I need a saw blade. Where is it? There it is. Saw blade. Smithing. Here we go. Mold through clay forming. Fill it with 900 units of copper. You also need a hammer. Smelt some ingots to be forged. Build a forge and fill it with charcoal. That's what I need. Forge. Oh, that's just cobblestone. I have no granite. That's another thing. Like, if I mine this stone, right, it doesn't give me cobblestone like Minecraft. I have to make cobblestone out of clay and this stone. So I'm gonna have to move my torch again, which sucks, but nearby in a ruin I found this metal torch, which is really nice. So this doesn't apply to this one torch, but all my other torches, like there's one that's burnt out right there. It's burnt out. It's done. To reset it, you just hit it and put it back. But if you leave it for too long, it'll burn out. If you that's going to get annoying. The temporal portal right there. If you put it in water, it burns out. I need at least 3, so I'm not gonna have enough. Cause that only gives me 4. I need 1 more. I'm gonna take it from my. Nah, I already worked too hard on that. As you see, I'm starting to develop a house, but I don't have access. That's why I need the saw blade to get planks, and then I need to make plaster to get some really cool wall-looking parts. Doot, 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 doot. There's cobblestone. Oh, I need 1 more. Oh. I'm using these as like tables because I haven't built tables because I need a saw blade for a table. And that's the whole process is just one step after the other after the other. You start in the Stone Age and you slowly grow up. Okay, so this should be a forge. Thank goodness. I have a forge now. Forge. Okay. Smithing. Here we go. Create anvil mold through clay forming. Check. Fill it with 900 units. Done that. You'll need a hammer. Got it. Smelt some ingots to be forged. Done. Build a forge. Fill it with charcoal. Place 1 or 2 ingots in the forge and ignite a torch, heating up your ingots to white hot. Place on the anvil. Offer recipes. Okay, so this I'm putting here for now because that's going to get hot. And I'm going to put the... Gimme. Oh, I was holding shift. And then my charcoal is still cooking up. Dang. Do I have any? I don't. Darn. So I'm gonna have to worry about that in a little bit. But basically, you'd put it on here, and you'd select the work, but then you have to hammer it and basically spread it all out from an ingot shape to whatever shape you need. And then you take that, you have to cool it off, which is either just holding it for forever or throwing it into water. I don't have a bucket yet, so I can't bring a bucket of water in here like I normally would in a house, because I haven't actually thought about making a bucket. Wooden bucket. What do I need? Planks and string, which planks require a saw blade. So to make planks, you require a saw and log. And using planks, you can make a whole bunch of stuff. I think this is from a mod. Yeah, Combat Armory Overhaul. Economy, RPG Enchant, Alchemy. Like I said, I got a whole bunch of mods. One thing is, like, it has a very Create-esque background. The history of the world, which it's really cool to watch it start up. It kind of gives the vibes of when you defeat the Ender Dragon. It scrolls and shows you all this, like, the world it remembers, you return, and it goes through all this cool stuff that it shows at the very beginning. The Rust world, something happened to this world. I forget what specifically, because as you can see, I haven't actually collected very much lore here, but it used to have a bunch of big machines. Then the world collapsed, and we had to start over in the Stone Age. However, this world is temporally unstable, which is why we get these rifts. Low grade and high grade. You could tell they're low grade, high grade, because this is really small, it's really close. That's really far, but it's still bigger than that one, so that's a high grade rift. Oh. This is barely temporally unstable. But the rift activity is high, that explains it. So yeah, if I get too close, it starts spinning, and if you hit 0, you go to the Rust world, which is where all the evils are right now. It's a fallen world that just has a bunch of rusty gears and machines. Really super creepy area, to be honest. I've only been there for a very short amount of time, and I immediately quit because it is terrifying, and that was my first ever time playing this. I didn't know what that was, so I walked up to it and got yeeted. So, we're not going to bother with that right now. But yeah, there's a bunch of machines you can make. Things like teleporters. There's a bunch of ruins around the world you can find. The rusty gears is like the currency with the traders that you find. And like, I don't think I have any copper areas or tin areas up here that have it. But for like finding ores initially, like this is flint, this is stone, this is stone. You could tell this is flint because it has a darker piece, right? So that's what you do when you first get on, is look for those. Well, in these stones, you could sometimes find them with copper or tin, depending on your world and in the spawn rate. But copper is usually the one you'll find. It'll have little copper flecks, and it gives you 2 to 3 copper. nuggets. That and panning is how you will be able to make your copper pickaxe. But everywhere you find those nuggets, which is why you'll see there's a bunch of copper and a couple tin places marked. If you dig down there, dig through the layers of soft materials, so sand, dirt, etc. Then mine through usually the first layer of. I totally came with a full inventory. Through the first layer of the stone, usually granite. This area has granite. Some areas have others. You'll find copper veins, and then the copper veins are all quality, so poor, medium, high, bountiful, stuff like that. And that'll tell you you get chunks, which is basically stone in the nuggets, and then you take a hammer to the chunks and it'll give you the nuggies. Then with the nuggies, you put those in the crucible, you heat the crucible up on like a campfire with some charcoal, and bada bing, bada boom, you're done. These are both fresh for 2 days. Stop not mixing. Also, I need to remember to close this because I keep forgetting and I'm going to lose it. There we go. Okay, so going to put the crucible away. There we go. Also, like, tool storage right here. Super cool. But yeah, the world has a very in-depth lore to it, but you have to actually go searching for it. It doesn't really apply unless you're trying to figure out the rifts. Oh, hey. Those rifts disappeared. Thank goodness. This area is still... Oh, it's balanced now. Thank goodness. Yeah, let me go to sleep real quick. Go by a couple hours so that pit kiln can finish. And my charcoal will hopefully finish. So when you sleep for 7 hours. In the top left, you can kind of see the time going. It passes by an hour, then 2 hours. Then it'll usually wake you up shortly after that, for first 2 hours. Okay, I have a bunch of random stuff. Why did I get logs? I don't even need firewood right now because... well... The cobblestone in here. Peat goes in here. Clay needs to go in here too, so I will take the firewood out of this one, put this in there. I will put firewood in here now with the logs and the ladders. So this is my wood chest. Toss those up there. I don't need to have the pan on me. Do need that. I do need those. I'm going to need that in a bit. Alright. So yeah, I need to go get some cattails. Okay, I've cleared this area. So next will be this area. Let's just head south. Oh, I need to eat. Oh, that barely had anything. Yeah, so this area is temporally unstable, and I'm not sure why. I think it was that thing that spawned. There might be some kind of machine underneath the floor which is causing it. Like a ruin or something. But I'm not sure because I haven't bothered to look. I barely noticed it before because I was panning through the night. Which was a terrifying endeavor. There we go. Woohoo! Need more. Need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, I believe. Or is it 3 each? 3 each. Great. So I need 15. Next lake is over there. It was a really good lake with lots of them. Wasn't this one. doesn't look like it's that one either. Oh, yep, no. Oh, hello. What are you? What is a crab doing way over here? Oh, that's part of a different mod. Yeah, my next step would be getting tanning going. And then also mining some of this tin. Sweet, I've got it. Mining some of that tin I have marked. Here's some ruins. This one was filled with dirt. It's a very high quality dirt, which is what I made my farm out of. But I couldn't get here because this was blocked. But see, that right there is what I really need to get in there for. Ugh. Hello. Oh, you actually give me spiderweb? That's cool. So this is a forage vessel. So that gave me a bundle of bamboo stakes. Really? Some horsetail poultice on linen. I have a spiderweb. It does nothing. Okay. Oh, do I have blocks? I don't have blocks. Oh well. Let's see what's down here. It is temporally stable, surprisingly. What is that? Large crate junk. A metal barrel. This looks like a kind of forge storage area. Hot shards. Yeah, that's probably all it was. Cracked rubble shattered, as expected. Okay, here's some of the different variants of granite blocks I can use. Whew, that was close. Red clay, important for making that pottery. Blue clay is another option. Fire clay is what I have to go looking for next. To try and get the actual proper kiln. Gotta get me some more berries just in case I run out of cooked food, because cooked food requires veggies, which I don't have very many of. Mostly they're growing right here. And here I've got everything from like spelt, flax, rye somewhere. Yeah. Something to do with the heat, so I need to go to a higher area to grow the rye. Turnips, same deal. Onions, they're going great. That fish trap's actually going to save me a whole bunch. Oh, I have a random. But I'm going to put it right there. Bamboo goes in here. The horsetail poultice can go in here because it doesn't actually have an expiration date. Open this, put these in it. Pop that there. Toss those in there. And voila. Is that done? Should be. Okay. So the smoke stopped coming up, which is what's giving me the it might be done. This was all firewood. And now it's been burned down to charcoal. So as far as I can tell, this needs to be an even size. So 3x3 would also work. But it takes an absurd amount of logs to make enough firewood just to make a 2x2. I think it's 4 stacks of 16. So 64 logs in total. Each tree gives you anywhere from 8 to 12, depending on how tall the tree looks. So it can be quite annoying to try to make charcoal. But there we go. And then I take my torch. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Now I just gotta wait for those to get red hot. Well, white hot. Put that there for now. And I need to make a saw blade. What is that? Is that a cricket of some sort? A grasshopper, maybe? I think that is. I can't hit it. Weird. I know there's butterflies, but I don't know what that is. But I think it might be grasshopper. And this is what I need the tongues for. And I also need my hammer. It does have the fancy, like you get the Minecraft mod that auto replaces tools. That if this breaks, this shovel will be put there, so it doesn't break it. The while you're mining, but these don't break unless you completely destroy a block, except for the axe. The axe, if it breaks while you're chopping the tree just shrinks to however much durability it could use. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, I need a saw blade. Where is it? Where is the saw blade? Elven shield band. No, I need a saw blade. Am I blind? I'm blind. Copper cleaver, hammer, hoe, knife, chain, nails, saw blade. So now I get to sit here and do this. Okay. But move right. Okay. Down, down. You have to do the edges. I now have this. And I toss it in there. Once those bubbles stop, it's safe to pick up and use. Alright, so I should have that other one. As you can see, this is going to take a lot of time. Okay. Go up. Oh, this might require 2 ingots. Yeah. Definitely does. Okay, so I just have to cut those. Got it. Oh, darn. Here we go. This is going to cool off, and that's going to be super annoying, so I'm going to actually get these out of there. I think the heavy hit just moves more of them. But I need these nails to make a chest, even though I haven't made the full saw blade. I think it's just this plus this. Copper saw. Craft it. Oh, it's the sticks on the bottom. Now those logs will actually come in handy. Do this. I make planks. Then to make a door, I think it's just that. Solid door maple. And now I have a door. Heck yeah, so I don't actually need to keep that block on there. Take that. Put it here. And now I hammer down. Hammer up. Oops. I think I just did that wrong. There we go. Oh, that was the wrong piece. As you can see, each hit's actually taking a hunger bar. Or a bit of my hunger, that's why it's highlighting so much. This is actually stressful work. And I don't have any buffs to this. Now I just... Oh, you can actually rotate it? I didn't see that. To the left. There we go. And now we go throw it out here. And this will give me the stuff I need. To make a chest. an actual chest, like a chest, which is pretty cool. There we go. And then last but not least, I do know I'm going to need some copper shears. So let's go this way. Oh, no, that needs to go up. Well, it looks like I might need a second one for this too. I was not expecting that. To make meat stuff, I need 4. So I can't make any meat stuff right now. So this is a cellar now. This whole room designated as a cellar because it's completely sealed off. So like, if I look at these in my hand, they're 4 days. Yeah, that's the basis of this game. I'm getting super distracted and actually playing it. I totally forget sometimes I was, especially when I'm focusing on this, I'm recording. So hope you enjoyed this A Day in a Game first look. Again, this was more to introduce some of the basic concepts of how this was different than Minecraft. And as you can see, it is very different. It's a more realistic survival, but in a voxel-based world. So, hope you enjoyed. Hope you guys take the time to actually take a look at this game. This game is awesome. I've been heavily invested in it for quite a while. It's only recently that Outshadow wanted to try a server, which got me even more invested in it. So yeah, go ahead and take a look. I will try to put the link to the game in the description. It is not on Steam. You have to go online, kind of like Minecraft and Mojang type of deal. But they also have their own mod support, which was really cool to see. This does. Yeah, it does. I don't think I actually needed it. I think there's a way to hit those out of there. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. See you next time. Toodles.